G'day, welcome. Mailbag Preview Show, episode 310, powered by ponyfilm.com.au. It's a database I use issued to a late Thursday preview show. Doing our best. Rob had to play golf this morning and put everyone off track, and we apologise for that, but we're here. Rob Scurry, the horse whisperer. The good horses are rolling back in. You got to get it if you haven't got it. The mailbag.com.au. Let him tell you what the horses are telling him via the Mailbag app. And our man, your man, everyone's man, Makybe Gannon. Ganno, how are you first?
Yeah, doing well, mate. Good to be here late on Thursday night, but what better way to finish off
podcast number 6 for the week, is it?
Yes.
Appearance number
5
12?
of the day, 6 of the week, another 12 to go.
Scuzz Dog, how are you? It's going to be a very late record, as we've mentioned. We're pushing the producer to the max, and there's going to be a zero edit on this show, so we are not going to discuss the tragic events happening in America today in any detail.
We're not. We're going to just straight bat, horses only. Let's go. Where are we off to first? Run to the Rose?
We're going to do one race in Sydney at Rosehill where the rail's out 6. Then we're going to go and do 2 at Flemington headquarters where the rail's in the true. We're going to start at Rosehill, race 8, the Yulong Run to the Rose, $300,000 Group 2 for the 3-year-olds. Makybe Gannon, take it away as your market appears now on the screen.
Yeah, interesting little map here. I think probably first up, late in the day, currently a heavy 10, we'll get to an 8. I would suggest it's pretty warm temperatures the next few days. Rails out 6 metres, so it's a bit of a curveball, that one, because, dry deck, you think it might play a little bit leaderish, but there are patterns previously that sort of suggest that on a rain-affected track that you're going to get, won't so much be up and in, you're going to get an even sort of setup, Rob. Obviously, you've seen plenty of this track in the past, playing a little different with that rail out than what it has, maybe the last 10 years, probably the last 6 months has played a little different. What are your thoughts on the track?
I'll leave it to the expert to try and tell me. Adjust on the day. Try not to think about it too much. Otherwise, I'll be up staring at the ceiling.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. So we take on trust. That's good gear.
If you had to bet on it, Rob, what's the track doing at this point of the day? Yeah. Race 8. It's a wet, shitty Rosehill track.
Drying.
Look, I just prefer horses that genuinely handle it, wet track types. I think the fence will probably be off, maybe running line, but just prefer horses that, excel in wet tracks, and whether that's on type or breeding or, form, I just think a horse that can handle conditions is more, critical. They can get to the right spot if they're travelling, at the right time. You often see horses that are, going nowhere 600-800 metres out. They can't do anything. And they get beaten big margins.
So the wheels are spinning.
Yeah, I've got this mark, Jack, probably to Joel's point, and a 1200 metre start as well. I don't think you want to be back. So worse than midfield, negative. Rails and run, not necessarily a positive. If you can be on pace, running line, I think that's going to be the place to be. There's a few horses that sort of tick that box, I should say. But interesting enough, you've got Pre-Star, you've got Baywalk. It's probably drawn perfectly. Raging Force, King of Pop, North England. They're the 5 key speed influences, and it's going to be a challenge for Raging Force. Tommy Berry off, Zach Lloyd on. Probably rather Tommy on a leader than Zach first.
So your power rankings for the Sydney jockeys has got Tommy Berry in front of Zach Lloyd at this stage?
No, that's probably a separate issue. Probably more about this jockey and his
run
ability.
Style for horses.
Yeah, his ability to ride leaders versus Tommy. I think Tommy is a little bit more patient. If you
like in Melbourne, you'd rather J Carr on a go forward roll cover first floor horse, but you'd rather Mark Zara on midfield worse than midfield horse.
Exactly, all scenario based stuff. In saying that, I don't think Zach's been necessarily riding at his best either. But right time of year for him to sort of come into his own. It's not like he lacks the ability. So he'll most definitely come into his own. There's no doubt about that. But just with Raging Force, they weren't a soft enough tempo last time. It's not like they were setting the world on fire. Now it gets to a proper, this is a Group 3, right, or Group 2, but there's Group 1 speed here, Group 1 horses that turn up here. So they'll go quicker. This will be as quick as he's probably had to go. North England from wide, King of Pop, I don't think they're going to be negative yet, and Baywalk, Hippo from a good draw, they won't be negative there. And you've got that Pre-Star from Tony and Calvin that goes pretty quick as well. So I think the acid test is for Raging Force, albeit the market support's been enormous. I really don't understand why it goes up 2 kilos against some of these. Meets Baywalk that was 3 wide around 1100 metre Rosehill, 2 kilos worse. Like, completely just grazed me up how they've come for Raging Force off that. Skyhook comes off a slow tempo sit and sprint with 60 kilos. Looks fantastic, rated well, but happy to be against. I'm not sure how good that horse goes on a fast tempo. So it really just leads me to two runners in particular. Wadton, who's proven to handle at least a soft 7. If they're positive, Jason Collis positive, can get on the back of a Raging Force, sit in that midfield running line position, I think Wadton can win. If they're negative and he's at the back, he'll be completely cast. And I think Baywalks has to be the one off what it did last time, right place, right time, but not proven. I'm interested in Rob's thoughts, not proven on a rain-affected track, albeit has never raced on a rain-affected track, how he'd handle that, Rob.
Look, I'm not entirely sure. He's kind of athletic, but he's kind of big. So, yeah, jury's out. Look, I can't tip you. Who's he by, sire?
Bivouac.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I don't know. I can't understand why Skyhook wouldn't. I know he's never run off a good tempo, but I thought his win the other day was impressive. He's dropping, good weight. He looks like, to me, a horse that might handle the wet conditions. So I'm not dismissing him. But yeah, as you said, this is it's only a Group 2, but these are Group 1 horses. In terms of Golden Rose, the winner of this usually goes really well in the Golden Rose, the top 3 or 4. The form stacks up, is what I'm trying to say.
The only knock on your nepotisms and your tempted who potentially could be the 2 best horses out of this race is that they get here first up on a rain-affected surface, and they both map to be out the back.
With the market in Sydney, what's your read? You two, we'll start with you, Rob. So, there's good money Raging Force. It doesn't make any sense to Ganno. But what sort of phases, seasons does the market go in Sydney from a Wednesday to they jump?
Me, I try not to look too closely at it. But he is an athletic type. So wet track by a wet track, proven sire. Well, he was a great wet tracker. Cosmic Force, who could forget him winning by 7 lengths before the slipper on a bottomless track. But yeah, he's got that type. He's got the running position to be up on the speed. I can understand it. There's definitely a class query there, but I've got a class query on 2-year-old form. I think nepotism and tempted, obviously the best of it. But outside those two, I don't really want it too much to get too much excited. I know I said Skyhook might be a good chance here, but he was fairly lightly raced in the 2-year-old season.
What are your thoughts on Raging Force, Rob? Like, I had it marked down. He's sort of laid in that Wadton race, and obviously Tommy went back to the inside and nearly put JMac through the fence, which would have been a disaster for turnover if that had occurred. What are your thoughts on that? That was 1,100 metres on a decent track, soft 5, maybe a good 4. I'm just trying to bring it up, but of a horse doing that late in the race, how does that strike you? Like, as a horse trying to run out now a strong 1,200 at a really fast tempo? Is that like, would you look at that and go, oh, weak, or just got lost out in front? Lightly raced horse going through its grades. All it's doing is winning. It's a big step up, and I can see why you've got the question marks on it. But as I say, all he can do is win, and he's been winning.
His sectionals over like on a soft track, say like he's going to eat up 1,200. Like,
what did you make of it, Jack?
Even tempo, and he's done the fastest 6 of the day.
Yeah. Like
an 11.22, 6 of the 4, 11.10, 8 of the 6, then a 10.92, and then an 11.40 home. Like
he would have been second fastest if he didn't take out Wadton. But what do you make of a horse laying in like that late? Did nothing to worry about.
I find it interesting that there's no gear changes. So sometimes I'll put like one little thing that you don't really hear of a lot, like a one eye blinker. Crossover, like whatever it is, they decide that it's going to suit this horse to help him go straight. He might be feeling a joint. They might have sorted that out.
Sure.
There's potential upside from my mind to those situations, and with what Rob says about Cosmic Force and his thirst for heavy tracks, maybe that's what the market's gravitating to. So, like, I don't like how deep he is into a prep versus Waterton. I prefer the Waterton setup. But it's a shitty Sydney Saturday heavy track again. So maybe the race fitness and the stallion that wants to swim is appealing, that you know what you're going to get, whereas Waterton is not ready to... This is not a grand final for this horse.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to the same race, regardless. It's Chris Waller. Now, I know Chris loves the punter and looks after the punter and provides the punter with good content and good communication, but he loves the owner more, and the owner's caring about winning the Golden Rose, not about winning the Run to the Rose. I don't know. My question before that Rob sort of wasn't answering because he doesn't focus on the early market, which is fair. What do you think, Ganno? Like, there's good money now for Raging Force.
Yeah.
Is that a big push, or does that mean not much because the NBLs don't kick into 9 o'clock Saturday in Sydney? And then is there like a... So in Melbourne, it's on for young and old as soon as they go up.
Yeah.
In Sydney, they go up, and then the pros come in at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and then Betfair and the liquidity come in 10 minutes before the jump.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of...
As the ring starts flying a little bit, if there's anyone there, Rob.
There's no one there, and
you can get
3 minutes before the jump, the betting starts to happen, really. Betfair's at about 50,000 at about the 5 minute mark, if that.
I think you get a far better indication from 9 a.m. There's absolutely no doubt about that. What I will say is there are odd occasions, and with certain companies like the Green Cafe, where they will allow you on for a certain amount before with certain clients, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of that is being turned in via that sort of setup. So,
yep. So they're sort of buying the information. They want some sharp money to sharpen their markets.
Yeah, I wouldn't completely disregard the early stuff, but like if you wanted to put a weight to it, like 20%, and then what happens after 9 a.m. would be closer to 80.
Yeah.
But look, it wouldn't shock me. It doesn't shock me that this horse on raw figures and raw data, and the fact it's winning, and the fact that it's a rain affected track isn't going to start favourite. Like it wouldn't shock me if it's going to start favourite, but there's enough negatives for it from where I sit to absolutely plot it and be against it. Like first time 1200, heavier deck, much faster tempo, completely different race shape to anything I've ever faced before. New jockey, leave me out.
All right. So, that's this year's Run to the Rose. It's Rosehill. It's race 8, isn't it? I've said race 9 there.
Race 8.
Naughty boy. It's race 8. And Ganno's with Waterton. And probably heavier for Hippo riding for Uncle Chris in Baywalk.
Yeah, my biggest bet will be Baywalk, for sure.
Ganno's basically saying Waller's got a grip on the race. All right, that's Rosehill. Rob, anything to add at Rosehill? Any interesting horses returning? Some fatties, second, third up all of a sudden? Some thin ones that went really well that are back in? Talk to me.
Nah, I haven't looked too closely, mate. Just trying to keep fresh, just recovering from what happened at Canterbury yesterday, and just.
I thought you were going to go to America. Good, you didn't.
Nah, mate, you keep bringing it up. Nah.
Yeah, I know. I'm tempting you.
I've got two for you, Rob.
Yep, please.
Glad you think so, John Sargent. So you think?
Yeah, I know. Glad you think so.
Gelding.
Won its last two, backed it many times before it became good. Nice looking horse.
Yeah, has become good, and I think as a horse that enjoys high pressure racing, I marked it the race before, and then came out and sort of got the job done in a slower tempo. Now it probably goes up in grade. This looks like a progressive enough horse. Like, do you make? As a type, do you think looks progressive enough to keep going through the grades? Well,
he always looked better than he always looked like a Saturday horse, and he was running around in a Wednesday and not placing. So he was been a frustrating horse for me. I think the Lemon's getting close to the end. I'm going to say he was at top last start. So I think John Sargent's going pretty well at the moment. So if he presents like that, I'm sure he can go well. But he can also be a bit of a head case as well, that horse, or he was back in the day, and he's got better. So, that's another one to spruik my MYM. If he's, if he parades like he did last start, I'm kind of with you. But there's every chance that he could be, he could be over the top.
All right, well, I'll be hitting the F5 button like it's going out of fashion. Autumn Boy comes back first up, latest trial through the line, very good, past the post. Like, loved everything I saw. What are your thoughts on him?
Sadly, I wish I went out that day when he beat Coastal Watch. I've never seen him, so I think it was a public holiday. It was one of the rare public holiday I didn't get out, and he was 50s, and he beat Coastal Watch, who was $1.
Central Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Look, I don't. Yeah, I'm concerned about horses on heavy tracks first up. I think that's a pretty good golden rule. That's a pretty strong rule. I'll have to wait to see him. But
that rule's like getting tested because
especially by Uncle Chris.
The custard tracks you guys have to cop. Like, what are you going to do? Just not show up for 2 months?
Yeah, and then you see horses like Chris just producing these good horses, and they just turn up and blow them away anyway.
It's no surprise to me that they call this the world's most livable. Like, we're all Sydney boys, right? We're all cut our teeth. Well, actually, 2 of us cut our teeth in Sydney. Although, I don't know if we'd call, if you're actually from Sydney, I don't know if you'd say Ganno's from Sydney and Rob originally from Melbourne. But, honestly, it pisses with rain here sometimes, but, it's a good 4 on Saturday.
Yeah.
It could get a bit better. It stopped raining today around 1 o'clock, and the sun came out and it was pretty windy. So it might be more of a...
But they took the sand out, didn't they?
That's Randwick. Oh, no. They took the sand out.
Who?
Leave it out, mate. He's blocked me now.
No edit.
Let's move to Flemington. But is Lazzura going? Is Lazzura going around for Uncle Chris?
Lazzura looks like it's going around. We're going to preview that race and the Makybe Diva, and they have steamed it. It is red hot. That horse. They're coming out of the trees to back it. We'll start with the Makybe Diva. It's race 8 at Flemington. It's a Group 1. It's weight for age over the mile. It's worth $750,000. 6-horse field, small field, high quality. Is there a horse in here that's trying to win, needs to win? No, there's not. Are there 6 horses here with proper ability? There's probably 5.5. Is there Group 1 winners galore? Yes, there is. Is it the best horse we've seen since Winx? Yes, there is. Is it the toughest, strongest champion we've ever seen outside of Winx? Makybe? Yeah, there is. Mr Brightside. He was gutsy, huge first up at Caulfield. Tom Kitten was scratched that day because the track got too firm. They're going to go to Flemington. It's not going to be any softer, but it won't get as firm because it's the headquarters. It's got that lush coverage. Antino, enormous, not suited in that same race at Caulfield. Mark Twain was in last week, and it threw Mark Zara, Jamie Mott off. I don't think at the trial. Sweet, you can just rock up again, you white Kiwi. It comes off a 1,200-metre run in New Zealand where it's savaged the line off a slow tempo. And then we've got these 2 boys, 2 ponies. Via Sistina, who did what she did last prep, did what she did first up. She beat Aliana. Is that how we're saying that?
Yeah.
Nice.
JMac comes down to ride Via. D-Lane gets onto Aliana. The SPs make the prices they're offering us pretty relevant. The speed map here, Ganno, is disgusting. Yeah. And I think the way that the racing has allowed itself to be controlled by the government, and chances are you're about to lose. Chances are you will lose if you bet into this race because the speed map's disgraceful and there's no tempo at all. And I think that the main play is probably gapping the favourite just because of a lack of tempo, which will soften her class edge that she has on this field.
100%.
But that's go to the exchange, maybe go win place just to be nice and sick. She has got that Waller profile. She sort of invented the Waller profile for me, and then I got Paps on board, which is like the peak, trough, massive peak.
Third up.
She went enormous first up via Sistina. She ticks every box, but there is no tempo here. I don't reckon Brightside will lead. Why would they?
Oh, who leads? Mark Twain.
The only horse here.
Would have to
so
lead, right?
Let's put ourselves in the ownership. We own one of these horses. Go one by one. Which horse are you going? Let's roll the dice. Have a crack. The only one's Mark Twain. We don't even know if Mark Twain's going to get into the barriers, let alone leave them.
Does this race not just fall into the hands of Blake Shin? And whenever Blake says go, he just sits at the back.
Yeah, I think
go,
that
and then it's on for young and old.
the two tinfoil, like if Rob cracks a glass of wine, we get the fire going, and it's just all gut feel stuff and like vibes. It's Tom Kitten and Antino for me.
Yeah.
But like in reality, they've got to run past Mr Brightside. Is just going to have like a barrier trial and doesn't stop. Never has stopped. Stopped once in his life, and it wasn't in Australia. So don't worry about it. It's a perfect run for these horses. Like if you owned them, you just jump, travel, in a rhythm, hit the line, see what happens. Bigger things, bigger fish to fry. I think that the play is genuinely though to lay Via Sestina, just because this race will not be genuine, and she is as genuine as we've got. Her best runs are in brutal races, and this will not be brutal.
Yep.
Sure.
No, not.
The only knock with Antino, and Blake's a deep thinker, and I think he will make the move at some stage on Antino. But whether it's not Caulfield, that straight at Caulfield, I think it's a little bit easier to sort of skip away. Whereas Flemington, it's a long way to the finishing line. So that's my only worry with Antino. But yeah, I think he could look the winner 300 metres out.
Yeah, I'm not knocking that. It's a really interesting race, and it's a race where you need to realise that if you feel like you have to bet into this, you genuinely have a problem, and you should be ringing those numbers and visiting those websites. What this is, guys, is a really good traditional form reference moving forward into the key big fat races that you want to back the winner in the rest of our spring carnival, which is Victorian. This race is super relevant. This field is really small. But when Via Sestina and Brightside accept, and the Hayes boys accept nice and early, it scares them off. And why would you want to race your horse against these guys? Honestly.
Yeah.
So that's it. Anything else to add, Ganno, for the Makybe?
Yeah, I won't be getting any of mine.
The next race we're going to do, and the final race we're going to do, is the Elope Stakes of 1400. It's a Group 2 for the mares. I love this race each and every year. It's a very nice race. Rob, it's a race you'd love. You get a little bit cathartic about this little... Give me some of that yard. Like, Peter's going to just have a little field day when these things start rolling in. He's got Leica Lucy to look at first if Waller does run, which I don't think he will. I hope he does because it can't win. But, an import, Waller, those silks, what's it look like? Marble Arch, talented. Road to Arataki, slaughtered last start. On display, is it the next superstar? Abounding, enormous. There's just nice horses everywhere here. We haven't even talked about Lazzura or O2 Good. There's the market as it stands as we record this. There's also Umgawa, who's a very nice horse. We have some shares available when trained out of Seymour at the Mailbag. Jono at the mailbag.com.au if you want to get involved. Lazzura Ganno has been very, very, very well backed in early markets. On display, the Victorian that sat midfield and was real gutsy at Caulfield is soft. And surprisingly to me, those two sort of make sense. The big firm is also O2 Good number 10 for K Daffy, but also D Lane. Any thoughts on this race, Ganno?
Yeah, I was definitely siding with Lazzura just purely off what she did last time out. She was really good against the pattern of the day, and I'm pretty sure the race shape as well. I don't have the notes in front of me, but she was exceptional.
Three wide cover rear, loves it wet.
Yeah.
JMac went inside runs peach. That may or may not be one of the AFL's greatest small forwards.
Yeah, I was going to say, sounds like Pap's words, that.
It is. Good on him. Hope it's going well.
Good.
Wherever he is.
Thoughts and prayers. Look, I thought she's got that 4-year-old mare profile. She might have been that Group 1.5 sort of setup, or Group 2.5 even, last preparation. But she might just be one that gets close to Waller's 4-year-old top line mares. And just the way she won on that day, wasn't many horses that won like that. So I was pretty impressed. Albeit she probably does want it a little wetter, but I just hope that lush grass that you talk of at Flemington is enough to sort of, give a cushion, because I think she's the best horse in the race. Turn of foot. I think 1,400 metres might be her limit, and I did hear JMac sort of talk to where he thought her limit was, and the question was, could she get to a mile or Empire Rose or something like that? And he sort of thought 1,400 metres is a top, that she would excel at that trip. So I was very, very keen. I looked at this O2 Good. I saw some money, and I couldn't quite work it out, Jack. So I'm interested in hearing your thoughts.
It's a horse that no one you don't know if they've got to the top of it yet. That's the profile. Then D-Lane goes to ride it. D-Lane loves riding for the out wide trainer. He gets it done.
Does he find them? Or his jockey manager finds them?
I don't know how he finds them, but
they find him.
No, well, he rides a lot of shit for him as well, to be honest. But he looks after the little guy. He's a bit of
love him.
Russell Crowe, shooting arrows in the bush, in the forest.
Yeah.
What's that movie, Rob?
I don't know, Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. He's a bit of Robin Hood about D-Lane. He likes a little guy. He doesn't like to just ride for the big ones, although he rides for all the big ones. Bossy Benitez jumped out well. It'll roll forward. I think there's good pressure here, which makes me interested in going against Lazzura. I can't get it near as short as the market has her.
Short now.
Well, it started $6 last start in the Group 3 in Sydney on a heavy 10.
$8.
They wanted a heavy track. Right?
We got $8, didn't we? It's glorious.
Well, maybe.
What I will say, Jack, just quickly, just for those questioning that form line as well, With Your Blessing came out and ran second to Pericles, maybe in the tramway.
Yes, don't question that form line. Don't question that horse With Your Blessing. It's a real bloody proper horse.
Cost you a fortune.
No.
Can I question one thing off the bat with that risk of having to edit this? But has anyone else noticed what started happening? Has anyone else noticed that one of the oldest stables in Australia has started employing a different sex of rider all of a sudden?
Get out.
Have you not noticed that, Rob? You've been asleep at the wheel.
Not the Hall of Fame trainer.
One of them.
There's definitely one Hall of Fame.
Allegedly, no more to be said there, but it may or may not be one of them in this race. Do your research there at home, punters. Marble Arch scares the shit out of me. Mark Zara wants to ride it. Trial reports plain. Horse has proper talent. Splashback. Barrier scares the shit out of me. Horse has legitimate talent. Geordie Child's wide draw scares the shit out of me. On display, Barrier 1, back and buried. That's why the market hates it. It's an awful, awful map. Full credit to the market and the plastics for discouraging turnover on this race when they decided to put up fucking Abounding right in the market. It started $17 last start. It was a sneaky, back and buried little zigzag and run. It is the horse in this race that could well explode. It is the sort of trainer that will explode the horse before everyone else might. They're not. This could be grand final day. Abounding, I think each way at $11. Blake Shin goes on barrier 4. You're going to get a great run. You're going to be right next to Lazzura, and it may well kick its head in. But $2.50 is very, very short. Lazzura, Abounding $11. Blake Shin. Give me Blake Shin in Melbourne over JMac every day of the week. Love JMac, but Blake's Blake. He's an aggressive, competent, very good rider. And you're going to get a great run here, Abounding second up. I think this is where they're aiming it. Go watch this replay, guys. It just zigs and it zags and it savages the line there at Caulfield. It's a really safe map horse. God bless Kevin Daffy for having O2 Good in the race and taking up such a significant amount of market percentage. I respect the horse greatly, but they've just made it so easy not to back it when they put up $6. They offer you $6. On display, if the drift continues and I get stuck into Abounding, it will join my team. It was very, very, very good first up and heavily, heavily backed.
Someone was suggesting that horse, they're looking to take it to a Group 1 mares race.
Well, this would be a stepping stone towards that.
Must be flying.
They're all flying this time of year.
Hey, Jack, are you done with race night?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'll take you to race 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Tycoon Star.
Short.
Good horse.
Very good horse.
Career peak. Flemington.
It's amazing how it ran a career... Isn't it staggering to us all that it ran a career peak when it was put into a race?
Unbelievable scenes. It's amazing what happens.
When it wasn't restrained to let down, it actually just kept running fast. Yeah.
Just showed a nice desire to win. What do you reckon about I don't have an issue with 1100 metres Flemington from 1200 metres Caulfield, but what do you think about the straight?
I prefer proven. I'd prefer like the stablemate at the prices. Yep. The race scares the shit out of me. And I have significant respect for Tycoon Star that I like. Probably don't want to bet it into the race. Devil Knight scares me with JMac.
I have him Tycoon Star as the best 3-year-old performance of the year so far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But where do they end up in 2 or 3 weeks? That's the question, you know.
Coolmore.
Yeah, but I mean the 3-year-old pack.
Ah, yes. Well, I think we'll learn a lot this Saturday, won't we? Because the big guns are all back.
Well, the Legacy Bound trial report's plain. Real plain. But full credit to Robbie Griffiths for putting Mark Zara on and not Carleen Heffel as he did on Saluted on Wednesday from Barrier 1. And unbelievably, she ended up in the coffin and never got out. But the trial report Legacy Bound, which is 380 at the red joint, 340, 360 the others, it's starting to make me want to think about wagering into the race, Ganno. And then if you did start wagering, you're either like standing one at a price, like a shining smile, or you're getting stuck into a couple, and then I'm going to have to be with Tycoon Star. It's a very complicated race.
Just the 58.5 kilos first up, beat Steel Trap, Morfettville versus a Tycoon Star third up. Bigger's better horse from what I've seen.
I think Tycoon Star is the best 3-year-old, like to the eye as well as the numbers. But I don't think it's elite yet. It's not elite. It's my point. That's what I was trying to say. Is it wouldn't shock me if something coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks and goes better than it.
Strikes me as one of those horses that could just explode down the straight.
Strikes me as a horse too that would definitely be a group horse as an older horse at weight for age level if it was.
Panamo stuff.
I don't think it will be.
You want to cut, do you?
Oh, apparently it's mental.
Oh God.
I think we have the full of the half with Kieran to Navy Pilot, Rob. So we're cheering for that as well, obviously. Speaking of Kieran, we thank him very much for deciding to sell Elsie May on Wednesday and not being greedy either, being quite generous and gifting her to us at 50,000 full of Hammer Inglis Digital. There is about 20% left in her. A bunch of the existing have rejoined, and if you do want to find out more, you know what to do. Email Jono, Jono, at themailbag.com.au.
Career peak on the start, Jack.
Is he back?
Sorry?
Career peak.
No, well, we're just making sure he's alive, but so far so good. And I think he's going to be expected to return sort of, I think it's towards the back of next week. I've made a note on my phone to like trigger me a day before so I can just like, I'm going to queue up like heaps of shit to write him. Like, can you do this, and this?
I'm sure he'll be over the moon.
Welcome back, John. Look, he's having a ball. Still not engaged either, just sticking fat. He's stubborn.
What's the point, mate? You're going to do it eventually. You may as well just get into it. But anyway, that's a chat for another day amongst political views and maybe a fire and a red wine. Yeah, Elsie May, I didn't even know you bought the horse, but I had a look through that catalogue and she ran a peak last start.
Big PB. Blake Sheehan went back on an on-post day. She went enormous. She arrives at Seymour tomorrow morning. Under the careful eye of Butch Bourne and Melissa Page. They will assess.
Hasn't he got a bit of spring in his step, Butch Bourne?
Oh, big. What about his sire comment today in the WhatsApp? That was just got him.
He's also a little bit busier than normal. His band has been a little lower than you'd expect, but when he fires,
well, he's all over everything. 'Cause he may or may not have a son-in-law that's involved in a lot of stuff too, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
That's great.
He'll be reveling in it.
Oh, he loves it. Yeah, and he's also just got to try and decipher what Hoyney's telling him for the week 2 of the finals. Which we will have. We are going to have Butch on for the John and Jack show for the Mailbag Bloodstock family tomorrow. So it's a podcast only. It's very, very... Believe it or not, it's a lot looser than this.
No John.
Everything's alleged. No, it's hopefully, I think it's our final John and Jack show without John. So it's Butch and I tomorrow at least, and whoever else wants to come in from the big that big WhatsApp. But yeah. Anyway, we're getting way off topic. Give me a best bet or two, Ganno.
Tycoon Star. I think he'll real revel down the straight there, and I think he'll beat that lot. So race 2, number 2 at Flemington. And more than happy to steer you into Baywalk at the $12 mark in the Run to the Rose.
Roberto Scuzz Dog, the Hawks head to head, or are you taking them 1 to 39?
Oh, I got burnt one last time I played 1 to 39 when fucking North Melbourne covered that against Richmond. It was awful. But I think Adelaide might feel the pressure. I think Hawthorn, I'm making up net.
I think the pressure's off. They failed badly. There's no more pressure on them.
Okay, that's another way to look at it. But the straight sets from the number 1 seed can also be a bit of pressure. It could be another way to look at it, Jack. So yeah, Hawks. I don't know. We'll do our best for the subscribers and myself personally when we go out to Rosehill. I don't want to preempt anything before I get there.
That would not be. I've got the rugby league. Shush. That's actually what I'm doing. My horse racing best is Flemington, race 9, number 6, Abounding. You can back it each way. I won't, but you probably should. But I've got a cheeky little double in the rugby league, which I hope Ganno is going to come with me on and not go against me on. He won't like this first leg because he's a New South Welshman. But the Storm minus 5.5 at home, they will fucking pump Canterbury. They will say, this is welcome to the show. Like Randy, like this, it's going to be destruction, I think. And then if there's one thing that you can predict comfortably in rugby league, it is that the Cronulla Sharks will shit the bed at home at some point. And if they're going to do it, I'd say to be against the Roosters. The Roosters minus 2.5 is ridiculous.
They are.
They might win by 30.
That well, the Chooks.
Is Hines still out?
No, he's back, and by all reports, that's a positive for the Roosters.
Yeah. Did PVL stepped in? Did he? Yeah,
it won't matter. They could bring back Andrew Eddinghausen. They could bring back
ET. Bring back
Green,
ET. Bring back fucking
the Fafita brothers.
Peachy.
Kamali.
The great man.
The Roosters are going that well. Roosters could quite easily become the first team to win the comp from outside the 8. They are strong. They've got depth.
What about being a New Zealand Warriors supporter? Like you've had a great year. You cop the Panthers at home, and you're plus 8.5.
And they'll be lucky. They'll be lucky not to lose that in the first half. Like they could be down 10.
Yeah, but what the rest of the NRL's hoping is that like at least they go out like just that like all black aggression and like
the biggest chance they've got is if they get 20 mils of rain for 80 minutes and they can just hang in there and keep counting goals.
Be gritty.
Jack, I'm taking on the Melbourne Storm.
Oh, Cameron Ciraldo and the doggies. Doggies, bro.
Storm have been nothing short of legless in big matches, their last 2 matches.
Yeah, but you're talking about Chris Waller. You're talking about, like on Friday night when you close your eyes, you're going to go, what the fuck was I doing laying Via Cecina off the Makybe Diva failure next start in the terminal? Why didn't I know that Chris knew what he was doing?
They've conceded 70 points in their last 2 games. They've scored 14.
Is Jerome back?
Jerome's arm is detached. He won't be playing until next year.
Really?
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Pappenhausen is not playing. They've got the best hooker in the game that's going to have to be just unbelievable. And they've got Munster, who is complete rocks or diamonds. And I think he'll overplay his hand because he's
the rocks often come in dead rubber home and away games. The diamonds come in like State of Origin and finals. He's a big game player.
Have been nothing short of awful as well.
Oh, you think like big Matt Burton's going to get it done with his little spiral bombs?
They've been nothing short of awful. But I just got a feeling, and I just hope that they work it out, and I reckon that they'll get the job done. So we're going to take the Dogs, and we're going to take Dogs into the Panthers, into the Chooks. You get about $7.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. I'm going to have to think about what I'm doing with the Storm now, because I just don't want to go against my man. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Anything else, Rob?
Oh, I don't know anything about rugby league, but I hear this Munster guy's a good player. A really, really good player. People say, oh, fucking Munster. Yeah, he's unbelievable. Rocks are diamonds. maybe
It's diamond time.
Yeah, it's diamond. That's what I'm feeling, Ganno. I'm feeling you
got to remember, like these guys like Munster. The rugby league season is disgracefully long as it is. Plus, he plays Origin. Like the guys, and he's a rugby league footballer. Like he's done a lot of like things. He's not going to like switch on for fucking 2/3 of the year every fucking week. He's going to have a little tap out here and checking in.
I'm feeling you, Jack. It's diamond.
Go time.
It's diamond time. It's diamond, not rocks, Ganno. I don't know.
Is Nelson a Soliflamono playing?
No, I think he got 4 weeks.
Did he?
Yeah, because
that helps him.
It was like the odd 12th man, Tony Lockett, headbutted his elbow, sort of stuff.
You
know who that was? Who did that? Rob, which player did Tony Lockett do that to? Philandia.
Yeah, Peter Philandia.
Nah, it's Peter Caven. Peter Caven, he caved his head in. He was playing for St Kilda. Seriously. Anyway, we've gone real rogue. Hope you enjoyed Mailbag Preview Show episode 310. Shares available. Butchborn Trains with Melissa Page, Umgawa, but also Elsie May, Jono, Jono at the mailbag.com.au to get involved and be part of it. Ganno, they can catch you on the Sydney set tomorrow.
They could have if it's done, but check on your local podcast.
It runs. Pap said it runs Saturday morning.
But for those of you who live in Melbourne, tune into RSN on Saturday afternoons.
That's what I meant to say.
For your insights.
So, run the punter through what's going to happen.
We do 10 minutes pre-race, 5 minutes post-race. Found plenty of winners last week, so probably due to hit a flat spot.
And is there a text line?
No text line. This is RSN, not SEN track.
Not yet. There will be soon.
But we'll get one.
Make sure you tune to RSN on Saturday. You'll get Ganno's before and after Sydney and Melbourne. Make sure you head to the mailbag.com.au. Get Pistol Pete's yard or our man, the Whisperer.
Just
the
get them
Scuzz
both.
Dog. The good horses are back. Where are these 3-year-olds at? Let's find out. Ask him. He'll tell you. Have a phenomenal weekend. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858 or visit the website. Remember, chances are you're about to lose. That is, of course, unless you go to the mailbag.com.au and buy my stuff. Bye for now.